When a man feels genuine love, a change begins inside him that he cannot turn away from. It is like a waking moment that reaches both the parts of him he knows and the parts he rarely explores. Love stops being just a basic feeling and starts to reflect who he truly is. It is no longer only about having strong feelings for someone. Instead, it becomes a mirror that reveals the balance or the struggle within his own spirit. When he meets a person who fits his inner truth, the wall between what he feels inside and what he sees in the world starts to come down. It is as if a song he had forgotten begins to play once more, reminding him of his true self beneath all the daily noise, pressure, and ego. He feels both open and whole at the same time. He is gentle but strong, reachable but steady. This type of bond is not about two people trying to fix each other's emptiness. It is about seeing a part of himself in another person. He feels a strange sense of knowing them, not because of things they did together in the past, but because the connection reflects the hidden parts of his soul. That kind of love invites him to look at himself more honestly. He starts to see the soft flow between his inner life and the world around him. The things he feels are not just random events. They have a purpose. They represent the talk happening between his conscious mind and the deeper paths of his life. When he loves with all his heart, he does not lose his identity in the relationship the way many do when they are chased by lust, the fear of being alone, or the desire to be needed. Instead, he discovers a more truthful version of himself through this bond. The relationship becomes a meaningful mirror that shows both his strengths and his scars. Every kind moment, every argument, and every quiet second becomes a lesson in being aware. He learns that real love is not about running away from his own truth, but bringing that truth into harmony with someone who matters. In true love, he is not ruled by simple attraction or blinded by a dream. His care comes from a deep recognition, an understanding that love in its cleanest form is a way of showing the truth. This truth does not ask for perfection. It accepts the whole person. It realizes that love can be soft and strong, healing and blunt, revealing and safe. He understands that loving someone truly means standing in front of them without pretending, letting his heart be seen without games or emotional masks. In that honesty, he finds a rare kind of power because love that comes from being real cannot be destroyed by ego, fear, or pride. It does not need things to be perfect to survive. It is born from two souls seeing each other past how they look and past the surface of daily life. As he goes deeper into this, he notices how much this love is changing him. His inner world feels lined up with something bigger than his old wants or habits. He stops looking for worth in his work or what others think of him. He starts to look for connection through being honest. The woman he loves becomes a sign of his own growth and change. He does not love her just to avoid being lonely or to fill a hole in his life. He loves her because being near her matches the deepest part of him that wants balance, unity, and a reason for being. In her, he sees a version of his own inner peace, the living proof of something his soul has always wanted to show. This is why when a man feels true love, his energy gets softer, his focus gets deeper, and his actions become more reliable. He stops feeling restless because the hunt for outside happiness turns into a path toward inner clarity. Real love becomes a spiritual alignment rather than a way to own someone. It teaches him that loving someone honestly means accepting life exactly as it is without making things up or hiding from the truth. It pulls him closer to reality, asking him to be both humble and brave. Through this love, he learns that the deepest bond he can have with someone else starts with the bond he has with himself. It becomes the harmony between his inner and outer worlds. It is the balance between feeling and thinking, between heat and calm. Love in its truest form stops being a wish to control and becomes an invitation to wake up. When a man feels real love, he realizes that true strength is not shown by how well he hides his heart, but by how openly he lets himself feel. Being vulnerable becomes the bridge between his heart and his soul, between the version of himself he shows the world and the version he keeps inside. In a world that often tells men to stay quiet about their feelings and to look untouched by life, genuine love gently takes away those heavy layers of protection. It encourages him to drop his guard so someone can see the parts of him he used to hide and to trust that he will still be wanted. This process is both scary and freeing. It makes him let go of control, stop pretending he is invincible, and face his fears of being rejected or not being good enough. But by accepting this openness, he finds a deeper type of bravery, the courage to be himself. When he opens his heart, he starts to show the human parts of himself that he once buried under silence or pride. He lets his partner see his doubts and the quiet worries he rarely talks about. This honesty becomes a gift, a sign that he trusts her enough to show his true self without holding anything back. In those times, his words have a sincerity that does not come from trying to look good, but from trying to connect. He admits when he is afraid. He speaks up when something hurts. He says thank you when he feels understood. There is a calm beauty in this honesty. It is a strength much greater than acting tough or staying distant. He realizes that being vulnerable does not make him weak. It makes him human, and his humanity becomes the base of a love that stays strong. Through this openness, his idea of closeness changes. He no longer sees being emotionally near as a danger, but as a safe place. The walls he once built to protect himself slowly disappear, not because love makes him blind, but because it makes him brave enough to see clearly. He starts to see the beauty in being emotionally open. He listens with care instead of getting defensive. He speaks with thought instead of trying to put on a show. And he feels with awareness instead of fear. His emotional life becomes bigger and more awake. In that space, his partner no longer feels like a threat to his freedom, but a friend on his journey. The more he allows himself to open up, the stronger the bond gets because love grows where truth is allowed to live without fear. This change is not always simple. There are times when he wants to pull away or hide his feelings again. He feels the urge to protect himself from being uncomfortable. But every time he chooses to be honest instead of hiding, he becomes stronger. Being open becomes a quiet way of fighting against the false ideas of being a man that used to limit him. He learns that being vulnerable is not giving up his power, it is giving up the act. It is the place where love becomes special. It is where two souls connect without ego getting in the way. As he moves into this depth, love stops feeling like a fight for pride. It becomes a space where both people help each other heal. His openness helps her be open, creating a connection built on truth instead of dreams. He understands that real closeness comes from shared honesty rather than being perfect. When a man feels real love, his best quality is not how much he can carry by himself, but how deeply he can connect while staying true to who he is. His heart stays open but safe because his intentions are good. In that balance, he finds a peace that only real love can provide. When a man feels true love, his view of connection moves from owning to growing. He no longer wants to possess the woman he loves. Instead, he wants to get better alongside her. Love becomes a way for both to wake up, not a contest or a way to fill a gap. It is not about holding someone tight because he is afraid of losing them. It is about giving them the room to be themselves while still staying close. In this love, his care is not driven by worry or being the boss, but by respect. He values who she is as an individual. He understands that her being independent is not a threat to him, but a sign of her own power. He wants to be part of her world, not limit it. His heart grows as he realizes that real love does not ask to own anything. It helps things grow. When he loves with honesty, he sees the relationship as a place where both people can improve. He does not try to change her into his idea of perfect because he has learned to love without demanding things. Every moment they have is a chance to learn more, to listen better, and to grow together. His love slowly moves from being attached to being understanding. He notices the little things and the quiet talks. He sees how growth sometimes needs space. He values balance, knowing that love does well through harmony rather than force. Through her, he learns to be patient, realizing that love needs to breathe to stay healthy. Such a man does not confuse owning someone with protecting them. He does not see her freedom as a danger, but as a natural part of love. He does not want to trap her, but to walk next to her as an equal, letting both of their spirits grow in their own way. When she does well, he is happy for her. When she changes, he tries to understand instead of fighting it. His love does not depend on her being a certain way. It grows through her being herself. He sees that love is not a cage, but a reflection of his own maturity. By supporting her, he also respects himself. Real love is built on mutual respect. This love also changes how he looks at himself. He sees that a real connection needs him to be emotionally grown and aware of his own inner world. The more he grows, the more he can give without being afraid and receive without feeling bad. He learns that love is not about filling a hole inside him, but about sharing the good things he already has. His affection flows easily because it isn't mixed with ego. He finds joy in seeing her succeed, knowing her light doesn't make his any dimmer. Their relationship becomes a choice made by two people who fit together in spirit. In this space, love is a force that pulls them both up. They inspire each other to move past their fears and doubts. They become mirrors for each other. He understands that love is not about being better than someone. It is about holding hands through life's hard times. His care is soft but steady. His loyalty shows by giving freedom, not taking it. This is the love that changes the man himself. He learns the goal is not to own her heart, but to grow his own. Through her, he sees that true love is about evolving together in truth. When a man feels real love, there is a quiet knowing that goes past how someone looks or what makes sense. It is as if his soul remembers something his mind cannot explain. When he looks at the woman he loves, there is a moment of total quiet and a deep feeling that he has met someone who shows him who he really is. This knowing doesn't come from thinking. It comes from an inside feeling that this bond is special. He finds peace when she is around, a calm that is better than words. It is not a temporary rush of excitement, but a quiet sense of home, as if his heart doesn't have to hide anymore. In that stillness, he feels a familiarity, as if their souls have met before. He doesn't feel like he has to explain this feeling. It isn't about status or logic. It is a spiritual fit deep inside. He doesn't need constant proof because the connection feels real on its own. There is an invisible bond that pulls him closer, not out of need, but because they match. He feels understood even when no one is talking. Her presence helps his thoughts feel clear and his life feel focused. When she speaks, she often says what he is feeling. When she is quiet, it feels full. It is as if they talk on a level beyond words. He feels seen for who he truly is. This connection makes him want to be devoted. He becomes more present and more careful with his feelings. He doesn't have to chase her. He shows he values the bond by being consistent and giving her his attention. It is not about big romantic shows, but about being there every day. How he listens and how he respects her peace shows the truth he carries. When he holds her, it is more than just physical. It is a moment where he feels he is holding a part of his own soul that he must protect. This recognition brings comfort, but also a challenge. True love shows him both his light and his dark parts. Her being there brings up parts of him that were quiet, his fears, his wounds, and his wish to grow. But he doesn't run away because he knows the point of this bond is to change for the better. Through her, he learns about himself. Their relationship is a path of discovery guided by his gut rather than just logic. When he feels this, his love stops being about owning her and becomes about respect and care. He sees her as more than a partner. She is a mirror that brings out his best side. He realizes real love isn't just found, it is remembered. It feels meant to be, yet free. It is a bond where words aren't needed because they understand each other naturally. Through this, he feels love not as a passing phase, but as a timeless connection between spirits that know where they belong. When a man feels real love, his inner world changes. Love becomes a force that reaches deep, changing how he sees life and himself. He looks at the world with new eyes, guided by meaning rather than just desire. The woman he loves brings out a softness and a strength that comes from being clear and understanding. He realizes love is a process that remakes him. He faces himself, the confusion and the fears he used to ignore. He learns that love is not just for comfort, but to wake up his soul. He learns that love is not a trade, it is a mirror for his beauty and his flaws. Every joy and hard time they share is a step toward knowing more. In arguments, he doesn't try to win, he tries to understand. When he is hurt, he doesn't shut down. He listens to what his feelings are saying. Love teaches him to be humble and to accept things. It rounds off his sharp edges, reminding him that connection grows through letting go of control. He values being real over being proud. Every moment is a chance to be more open. He realizes love is about being sincere in every moment. This change moves into his whole life. Simple things matter more. Her laugh, the morning light, just sitting together. He sees beauty in the routine. Love makes him sensitive to life, teaching him that living well is about being present. The world is less about winning and more about connecting. This humbles him and makes him feel calm and thankful. He learns to let go with trust, realizing love can't be forced. He accepts that love isn't always perfect and that strength comes from growing through the hard parts. The relationship is a space for both to change and heal. He sees love as a path to waking up inside. Every moment becomes a lesson in being a better version of himself. His love matures into devotion. He becomes wiser and more grounded. He doesn't fear being open because it leads to truth. His care grows through being there and being loyal. He understands that he becomes a better person by loving her. He becomes more human and more awake. The man who wanted the world to notice him now finds meaning in being real. Love has pulled away his illusions. He discovers that loving truly means growing forever toward peace. He feels a sacred duty to protect and support her without being the boss. This comes from respect, not a rule. His words are honest and his loyalty is steady. He doesn't move through life without thinking anymore. He considers her well-being in everything he does. He knows real love is about staying power. It is the choice to be there when things are hard. This love changes his view of commitment. It is a promise in his heart. He learns to be there in the silence and the noise. He doesn't leave when there are problems. He is loyal because he respects their truth. He becomes stable and reliable. His actions match his heart. He learns the balance of giving without losing his own identity. He supports her dreams like they are his own. He learns that strength in love is about staying kind and listening when it's hard. His love moves from simple want to deep meaning. He doesn't need to act tough to have value. He finds meaning in being a safe place for her. He shows his love in quiet ways and by staying present when life is unsure. His love doesn't fade because it is built on his soul. He walks beside her as an equal. His devotion is a promise to keep choosing her because his heart knows it is the only truth that matters. He rises into something more peaceful. It is a love that shapes him slowly. He discovers that loving means facing himself and moving past his ego. It breaks his pride, but builds his spirit. He finds inner peace. He finds meaning in nurturing what they have. Through her, he learns kindness and that the best love is the one that sets you free. He realizes love is two people growing together. It is his awakening. It turns his fear into insight. It is the deepest way to meet reality. In the end, love is about finding the reflection that helps him become whole. He doesn't just feel love, he experiences growth. It is two souls reminding each other who they were meant to be, awakening to their highest truth. As the man continues on this path, he starts to see that real love is an ongoing choice, not a finished destination. This next step in his journey is about how that love settles into his daily life, turning into a quiet power that protects everything he builds. He realizes that the initial spark was just the opening of a door, and now he is learning how to live inside the house they have created together. His focus moves from the excitement of the bond to the steady work of keeping it healthy. He learns that a relationship needs his presence even when things are normal or boring. This is where his true character is tested, not in the big moments, but in how he handles the small ones. He finds that being a partner means being a safe harbor where both can rest without judgment. He begins to see that his growth is tied to hers, and as he helps her shine, his own life becomes brighter too. He understands that love is a living thing that changes as they change. It requires him to stay flexible and to keep learning who she is every single day. This deeper phase of love teaches him that his greatest strength is his ability to remain soft in a world that is often hard. He becomes a man who listens more than he speaks and who values the peace of the home more than being right in a fight. His love becomes a silent shield for her heart, and in return, he finds a sense of purpose that he never knew before. This is the stage where love turns into a legacy, a way of living that influences everything he touches. He realizes that by loving one person truly, he has learned how to love life itself. Every day becomes a chance to show that he is still choosing her, still growing, and still awake to the beauty of their shared truth. As the connection deepens even further, the man discovers that this love acts as a foundation for his entire future. He stops looking at his life as a solo journey and begins to see it as a shared path where every step forward is taken together. This shift changes how he views his time, his energy, and his goals. He no longer chases success just for his own pride or to show off to the world. Instead, he builds his life to create security and happiness for the person he loves. His work and his ambitions gain a new kind of meaning because they are now fueled by a desire to provide and protect. He finds that he is more motivated than ever, not because he is restless, but because he is inspired. This love gives him a clear reason to be his best self every morning. He also learns the importance of emotional endurance. He understands that there will be seasons of life that are difficult, but he no longer fears them. He sees challenges as opportunities to prove his loyalty and to show that his heart is a solid place to land. His patience grows because he is no longer in a rush to get somewhere else. He is content exactly where he is. This stage of love brings a deep sense of belonging that settles into his bones. He realizes that the woman by his side is not just a partner, but a witness to his life. She sees his progress, his effort, and his steady heart. This makes him feel truly known in a way that gives him incredible confidence. He moves through the world with a quiet head and a steady hand because he knows he has a home to return to that is built on truth. He begins to plan for the long term, thinking about the years ahead not with worry but with a sense of wonder. He looks forward to growing old and seeing how their love will continue to change them both. He understands that while the world outside is always changing, the bond they share is a constant source of strength. This love has become his compass, guiding him toward a life that is rich in spirit and full of peace. He is no longer a man searching for a destination. He has found that his destination is the journey of loving her more deeply with every passing day. This deep transformation starts to reach beyond the relationship and begins to change how the man treats everyone else in his life. Because he has found a sense of peace within himself, he no longer feels the need to compete or prove his worth to others. His friendships become more honest and less about surface-level talk. He finds himself listening to his friends and family with more patience and real care, because love has taught him the value of truly hearing another person. He becomes a source of steady strength for those around him, offering a kind of support that is grounded and calm. The way he handles stress at work or in his community also shifts. He reacts to problems with less anger and more understanding, realizing that most people are just fighting their own hidden battles. This love has made him more compassionate toward the world as a whole. He sees that the kindness he gives to the woman he loves can be shared with everyone he meets. He begins to lead by example, showing other men that being open and caring is not a sign of weakness, but the ultimate form of bravery. His presence becomes a healing one as he carries the warmth of his home life into every room he enters. He realizes that by opening his heart to one person, he has actually opened his heart to life itself. He no longer holds on to old grudges or stays stuck in past mistakes because he is too focused on the beauty of the present. This sense of inner wholeness makes him a better son, a better brother, and a better friend. He understands that the energy he puts out into the world is a reflection of the love he feels inside. His life becomes a series of meaningful connections, all rooted in the truth he discovered through his partner. He finds that the more he gives of himself, the more he seems to have, as if his capacity for love has become an endless well. He moves through the world with a light step, no longer carrying the weight of his old ego or the need for approval. He is simply a man who knows who he is and who he loves, and that clarity shines through in every action he takes. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to spread the harmony he has found, making him a more complete and useful part of the world around him. As the years pass, the man discovers that real love is the only thing that grows more beautiful with age. He begins to see that the physical changes of time are not something to fear, but are marks of a life well lived together. He looks at the face of the woman he loves and sees a map of every shared laugh, every worried night, and every victory they have experienced as a team. This stage of love is no longer about the fire of youth, but about the deep, glowing warmth of a fire that has burned for a long time. He finds that their connection has moved past the need for constant excitement and has settled into a profound comfort. They no longer need many words to understand each other's thoughts. A simple glance or a touch of the hand says everything. He realizes that the person standing beside him is the keeper of his history, the one who knows his story better than anyone else. This creates a bond of loyalty that is unbreakable. He feels a sense of pride, not in what they own, but in the endurance of their spirits. He learns that the true test of a man is his ability to remain devoted when life slows down and the world becomes quieter. He finds joy in the simple act of growing old together, seeing it as the ultimate gift. His love becomes a sanctuary where they both feel safe from the passing of time. He realizes that while their bodies may change, the essence of their bond is timeless.